Maserati has been here before. Preserving soul-stirring brand values while managing the balance sheet realities of being a tiny car maker has never been easy. The last time this Modena-based brand pulled it off, however, was long before Lamborghinis went from sharing farm fields with bulls to being named after bulls. In 1957, Maserati was a builder of low-volume sports cars and even lower-volume race cars. Back then, it was also an independent concern, unencumbered by the burdens or blessings of its current parent company, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles. When its White Dame prototype rolled out that year, the Grand Tourer led the way for the series production 3500 GT, a volume seller relatively speaking, with about 2,200 made introduced into a market ripe for its combination of Italian speed, sound, and flair. Times have changed. The Levante feels less car-like than it looks. Its highish center of gravity is felt everywhere, and even with its many attractive tricks, it never feels truly eager. Moving the sales needle on a comparable scale in 2017 means selling a truck. Well, okay, an SUV. To be completely fair, the Levante, undergirded by the Ghibli sedan, is a car-based SUV. Though it expands the market appeal of that platform, it faces no shortage of competition in the world of upscale crossovers. In the past year, Bentley and Jaguar have folded to the allure of SUV sales at the risk of enthusiast greed. And in the next 2 years, Aston Martin and Lamborghini will join the club. But an SUV, Italian or not, comes with certain practical expectations. We used the Levante accordingly, loading it with kids and bicycles and navigating Michigan's smooth gravel back roads and brutal tarmac toll-ins. In fact, it was on one such toll-in where we uncovered one of the Levante's more defining traits. Observing the busyness of its steering and spleen-slitting ride in sport mode, our 8-year-old daughter issued a most obvious question. "Daddy," she asked, "what happened to this thing?" Good question, kid. The answer is twofold. First, Michigan happened. No toll-in in the heart of the Rust Belt survives more than a few years without measurable decay. Second, with its dampers in sport mode, the Levante is genuinely stiff, too stiff for Michigan, fine in California, and pretty good in northern Italy, where we first drove it last spring. Decoupling the powertrain from the stiffest damper setting improves ride quality without compromising engine response, but this is a tall wagon that feels so when driven with purpose. Our measurements confirmed the Levante's 26.0-inch center of gravity to be higher than that of a BMW X5M and a Porsche Cayenne Turbo, contradicting Maserati's claim that it has the lowest center of gravity in the SUV class. View 28 photos. Computer-controlled air springs are standard and can raise or lower the Levante over a range of 3.4 inches. 6 rider height settings are available, depending on speed and drive mode. Though not obtrusive, the regular self-leveling is noticeable when the SUV is stopped. The Levante's hydraulically assisted steering, though full of noise, never really sings. Requiring medium effort at speed, the steering system conveys ample vibration through the column, but there's little sense of the available grip, the road texture, or the approaching limits. This system proves that fantastic steering is less a product of hardware than it is of priorities. We'll gladly take a carefully tuned electrically assisted system over one that pumps fluid but doesn't communicate. As priorities go, engine sound is one of Maserati's biggest. And the Levante makes its noises the old-fashioned way, it earns them. Paolo Delica, the Levante's chief engineer, proudly told us that the mill's harmonics are all natural. Spent hydrocarbons find their way to oral glory when bypass valves in the exhaust system fully open in sport mode. And it is, indeed, a raw, gratifying noise, reaching a 6,200 revolutions per minute crescendo, then pausing ever so briefly as the next gear is loaded and fired. The twin-turbo 3.0-litre V6 in Strim Levante snorts out 424 horsepower and 428 pound-feet of torque. Though the V6 is pressurized to the same peak boost 17.9 pounds per square inch, new intake and exhaust designs differentiate it from the 404 horsepower version of the engine in the all-wheel drive Ghibli SQ4. Power, though not in short supply, often materializes only after an unnerving delay. Catch the dinky V6 or boost, and all the throttle mashing you can muster won't produce meaningful motivation. Granting the turbos time to find purchase tried our patience on more than one occasion. Keeping the engine higher in the rev range by manually operating the gearbox, there's a dedicated button for this, prevents such delays.